rise in the beat. Parks on the air, signals burning bright. Hump Day buzz cuts through the night. Turn the dial, feel the fire in the stream. Frequencies crash like a midnight dream. Happy hour roar, let the airwaves ignite. Hump Day thunder, rolling into the fight. Wires tangled, stories alive in the air. Shouting through the static like we just don't care. Radio scream truth from the unknown. This is our anthem, this is our zone. Turn the dial, feel the fire in the stream. Frequencies crash like a midnight dream. Happy hour roar, let the airwaves ignite. Hump Day thunder, rolling into the fight. Turn the dial, feel the fire in the stream. Frequencies crash like a midnight dream. Happy hour roar, let the airwaves ignite. Hump Day thunder, rolling into the fight. Rolling into the fight.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day, time for Hump Day Happy Hour. Going to have a great stream tonight, as always. And before we do that, we're going to do what we always do and thank the Patreons. Absolutely awesome. Guys, it's a couple weeks away from what we do, and that's hang out and do absolutely silliness and parks on the air.
Brisket.
Can't wait to and brisket, of course, brisket. Can't wait to see each and every one of you guys down there. Also, shout out to the YouTube members, the ones in green in the chat or blue if they are an administrator, including our newest POTA rover, Gene McPhee. And the ever-changing board changed this week with Dom coming out of nowhere up into the 7th spot. Thank you very much, November Charlie 4 X-Ray Lima. Always a pleasure to work you on the radio and have you in the chat. What is up, Dan?
It is. It's creeping up on man. Swallowed the wrong way there for me.
You got me coughing. Good job.
It's contagious. Now I got you coughing. I tell you what, there's 2 pipes there. Make sure you use the right one next time. But yeah, it is creeping up on Huntsville. And to be honest, the only reason I go to Huntsville is for Frank's beans, some food underneath the shelter, Eddie's brisket, and then I just want to go home. That's about it. But it's fun. We're going to see what's going on. It's episode 205 of Hump Day Happy Hour. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. First in the chat, Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar thought he was first, but he wasn't. He was second. Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie was first. Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar was second with a woo-hoo. Good to see you. Gary Graham, hello, hello. Someone bought a coffee. Hello, hello. Thank you very much. Wiz, that's Whiskey Echo Romeo 8 Romeo. Good to see you, Liz and fam. Ronnie, Kilo Oscar 4 Zulu Romeo X-Ray is here. Toby, Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta. Good to see you. Bill Duckett, KO4 SSH. Hello, hello. RFing around was just at a threefer up around Fundy area in New Brunswick. Hopefully you got him on the air. That's Victor Echo 3 Juliet Lima November. John K8 NIV. Hello, hello from West by God, Virginia. Kilo Echo 4 Eastern Standard Time is here. He's going out to activate. He's going to owe some taxes here. He's going to miss part of the stream. I see that. Kent Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Echo. Hello, hello. Kenny KC5 Mike Juliet Echo. What's going on, buddy? What's happening, Mo? Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Bravo Bravo is in the house. Reed AB8 AS. Hello. Larry, man, we need to talk because I was working Victor Echo 3, Lima Juliet November, and I was having a hard time hearing him. He was kind of light here, so I had the volume crunk way up. And I had my ear down there straining to hear him. And then Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India, the loudmouth from Hammertown, comes blistering through here, makes my eardrum bleed. Always loud. Always good to see you, Mike.
It was so loud on Dan's radio, it made my ears bleed over here.
Yeah, it was crazy. Mike 88 KB, good to see you, buddy. Boiled peanuts from Keeler 4 Lemur India. Boiled peanuts and chicken tenders. Gotta love it. Martini, that's Whiskey Delta 4 Juliet and Mike. Mike, Dad is here. Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Victor Kilo. NC Old Man Overload, that's our buddy Turd and 4TRD. What's going on, my friend? Get her done from Terry, Kilo 8, Golf, Quebec. Good to see you. Good evening, Scott, N2 TKT. Dennis, Alpha Delta 9 Whiskey Mike, Conebread, KO5RN, and Pete Knapp, the 1 milliwatt wonder from West by God, Virginia, KN8 PPY. Thanks again for everybody joining on this evening, episode 205 of Hump Day Happy Hour. And maybe not so much during the day, but the nighttime bands seem to be great. I'm loving it.
Yeah, the nights have been on fire. You know, somebody said something to me about Monday nights being lit up, and it was busy. But last night,
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to stop. It was just ridiculous last night. And they just kept coming and coming, and that's not a problem I care to have. So I like having that problem.
I said in our little group chat last night during your pileup, I say I'm going to hit James with a funny, use some non-standard phonetics, but I'm going to wait till his pileup dies down a little bit so I don't, aggravate him too much. An hour later, I'm still waiting, and I'm like, oh man.
It was kind of brutal. They just kept coming and coming.
That's the fun type of brutal, though. Absolutely. Frequency Frontiers. Good evening, buddy.
Yeah. So as we all know, my thumbnails is always my mood of the day, or the day that I made the thumbnail, and of course I made that thumbnail today, and it's all about being overwhelmed and a lot of people get overwhelmed in life, and I hear it all the time. I hear people all the time tell me, yeah, you've got it made. You go out there and POTA all the time and this, that, and the other. And I wish I could POTA all the time. And you know what? You can. It's all about what you make time for. I've heard it for a long time. Some of the other YouTubers. Well, not I used to hear it when I had my full-time job too. Well, you don't got a job. What? I don't? Really? Well, I guess I need to stop showing up then, because I do have a
funny. Yeah, you know what's funny? Since you quit your full-time job, what has it been now? 1.5, 2 years, maybe. I'd say around there. I don't think your activation habits have changed much.
No, they haven't.
I wouldn't say you activate more now than you did then. It's about the same.
Honestly, my busiest year in POTA was when I had a full-time job, and that's because. And this is why I'm always overwhelmed. People don't realize that I work probably 3 times as hard. I'd love to go back to doing 10 hours, 12-hour days. I'd love to, because I don't get that luxury. You know, yeah, I'll get a break when I'm driving in between a park or something. I was just telling Dan in the back room, I filmed 4 or 5 full videos this week. And when I say I filmed 4 or 5 videos, people think, oh, that's just you put a camera up and you shot it. No, that's getting all the gear ready along with my radio gear. It's making sure all the batteries are charged for all of that gear on top of my radio gear. Then it's taking additional setup time when I'm trying to get all these parks in at once. And they don't realize, most of the time I'm shooting dual cameras and everything else. It's a lot of work. But I shot all those videos, and all of them but the one that's in queue for tomorrow went to the trash because I didn't like them. I didn't like the way they turned out. So
that happens. That happens to me too. You'll shoot, 10 hours worth of footage for a 5-minute video. It's crazy.
Yeah, or you'll shoot a video and you didn't realize that the park ranger was too close when he was cutting grass, and it's messed up half the audio. Yeah, you can edit that, but it's a pain.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people, they get overwhelmed and they say they don't have time to POTA and stuff. But I'm going to tell you, if you're overwhelmed with life, POTA is actually good for you. There's nothing like just getting out and relaxing. And see, here's the thing. Here's the problem. When I'm filming all these POTA, it's still fun to me, but it's not, yes, I'm going to POTA. It's work too. And, or if I'm also, and this is my fault, this is nobody's fault but mine, but I'm also a very competitive person. And when I do sideband, I want the most numbers possible. I want to, but when I say that the most numbers in the most efficient way.
Right.
So sometimes that number might be 50 because I've called CQ too many times after that 50. See, I don't like that blank emptiness. It's not efficient for me. I don't like to sit there and now if I was doing, if I was a digital person, was doing digital, fine. I can work and do something else. But doing sideband, I can't work and do something else, or CW for that matter. So it's all about efficiency. But I put off, for a long time. I've been saying I've been wanting to take some of my radios out and do QRP. Matter of fact, I've had the FTX1 now for I don't even know how long, over a month, and have never used just the FTX1 QRP. Right. So this morning, I said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have fun. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do QRP. I'm going to use my new radio QRP and try it out. So I went out and I still filmed it, it's actually tomorrow's video. I still filmed it, but I had fun because it was something that I wasn't stressing. I wasn't like try to work me at the local parks, but guessing it's local propagation.
A funny bird.
Terry has really, really, really messed up local propagation, John.
Yeah.
So there's a local propagation dance, and Terry dances like a 96-year-old white woman. He don't have rhythm, and he got the moves wrong. So what he did is he wiped out local propagation.
He zigged when he should have zagged. Yeah, for sure.
But no, it just depends because yesterday Terry worked me every time yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Today, some of them he worked me and was loud. My QRP, when he worked me, he was a 1-1. But my last activation at the at the twofer, I tore up West Virginia. I got Reed, I got Terry, I got Mark, Mike India Victor. I got, I just absolutely tore up. So, yes, Terry does dances for a lot of things.
Yeah, he does. Oh, that is great.
You're a little further than a mile as the crow flies.
Oh, he's just over that hill.
But the problem is with 1810, if I'm down in that valley, and people don't understand this. Funny story. I'm going to tell you all a funny story. So last night I was out doing a late shift, and I was in Kentucky. Sherry went out and did a late shift across the street while I was gone. When I got done with sideband, before I went to CW, I said, well, I'm going to go hunt her park to park. So I hunted her park to park, and I said, I ain't going to confuse her. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, and I'll hit her with the club call. That way she don't think it's park to park. But in between that time, David, Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Alpha Romeo, worked her. And he said, James must have took the good antenna on you. He said, because he's way louder, and you're about a 5'6", 5'7". And I start laughing. I just laughing about it because she was on a Chelegans and I was on a Chelegans. But I was on top of a mountain in Kentucky. She was down in the valley at an 1810.
Yep.
And when you're down in that valley in 1810, people don't realize until you've actually been inside of 1810, they don't realize how close in the mountains are on you. You're not going to penetrate them with signal. You got to go up and over. So by the time you get up to the top of the mountains and shoot out, you're shooting a whole lot longer than 40 meters should be.
What did Kyle say when he came by? He goes, no wonder 20 meters doesn't work.
That's exactly what Kyle said. Yeah. No wonder 20 meters don't work. 20 meters will work in the valley if you're wanting only DX. So
RFing around, I was going to give you a club call, but you disappeared from 20 meters.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all on 20 meters, but that doesn't surprise me. I can't hear nobody on 20 meters most of the time.
I dang sure heard Lima Bravo India trying to call you, though. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And Toby, I heard Toby trying to call you on 20. I don't know if you got her or not, but she was murdering my speaker down here.
But
standing on top of the table.
If you're feeling overwhelmed in life, you really should think about, hey, I need to make time to get out and do some POTA.
I find it's relaxing. It can be therapeutic just to get out of the house, get outdoors. Even though it's hotter than Hades, soak up the vitamin D a little bit. And but when I'm filming, what you alluded to earlier, it's you feel like it's more work than enjoyable. I find it, I just set the camera up, do the activation. I mean, that's the easy part, for the A-roll. For the B-roll footage, I find it enjoying because I can walk around the park and explore a little bit.
Right.
So it's just not going to get my activation done and then leaving. I'm actually spending more time in the park getting my B-roll footage, at different locations and stuff like that. So I find that pretty interesting to do. It is more time consuming.
And when I shoot B-roll, I'm the same way. I love B-roll. I'm back to my problem again there.
Yeah.
It's I'm not being efficient when I'm walking around the park shooting B-roll. I'm losing numbers, and that it's that I'm not a normal person,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm the POTA king. I have to have more numbers. Wait a minute, I need to make a better YouTube video. No, I need to have more numbers. No, I need a better. It's always that blend, and that's why. And here's the thing. Did I have problems as bad as the bands were on QRP? No. At the 3-minute mark, I had 18 contacts. I looked at the log. I was 3 minutes in. I had 18 contacts. Not a problem, So it's not that I have a problem. It's just there's a lot of people that's not going to hear me when I'm QRP. Just like a lot of the people that were getting me, like Josh gave me a 2-2. Somebody else gave me a 3-3. What I will say on that FTX1 is, man, I love that radio no matter how I use it. That thing, even with the noise that was out there today, that front loaded speaker or whatever you want to call it, it sounds great. I mean, it's absolutely great.
Yeah, but yeah, POTA is very there. Hey, Zach, what's going on, buddy? K4 Zulu, Sierra Romeo, good to have you. But it's one of the most peaceful things to me, which is basically what you came up with, is our CW by water. Early morning, get up. I mean, I honestly thought that it's not going to be such a thing, right? But the first time I did a CW activation down at Sneed's Lake in the morning time, it's quite a while ago. I did in the morning, and I sat down there near the lake. The lake was like a sheet of glass. You see the alligators swimming, making little, ripples. That's the only disturbance of the water. It was nice and calm and serene. You just get transported into some other place. I can't really understand. I can't verbalize what happens, but it's just so relaxing just to sit there and just chill. The same thing happens to me in Montesano when I do a CW activation on the back deck of the cabin. I'll just sit out there with a cup of coffee, in the morning and just chill. It's fun.
It really is. I love to do morning CW by water. It's just a different world because I'm always go. So the morning that morning piece. That's like a lot of times. I'll do a CW activation and won't even spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the contacts. It's not about nothing. It's just about the relaxation.
The relaxation, and it's nice weather. You might have a breeze blowing on you. It's serene, and the rest of the day is just going to be probably miserable. So enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, first thing in the morning, the mosquitoes and everything aren't as bad as they are in the evening. Even though the sunlight level is the same,
No, they're not. They're really, really not.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like it. I wish I could get out more early.
I have found that if you're really wanting to avoid the mosquitoes, you take somebody like Sidewalk Sherry to the park with you because they all go to her.
That's very true. She drinks the DEET.
She can literally put a whole can of spray on her. I mean, so bad that, she's putting it on 10 feet away from me and I'm choking.
Yeah.
I'll put nothing on. And the whole time we're activating, she's getting eat alive and I'm getting nothing.
Or she uses my 100% DEET and she complains for the next 2 days. That's all she tastes. I'm like, first of all, you're not supposed to spray it in your mouth. And it's 100% DEET. A little dab will do you. You don't need a lot.
I don't know if it's just the fact that in West Virginia, the mosquitoes just realize that I'm king and they leave me alone. Because in Florida, I don't think they realize who they're dealing with because they tear me up in Florida.
I bet you they leave Bill Brown alone, though. I bet you he'll say, I don't have a single problem with mosquitoes down here.
I know. It's the no-see-ums down there that bother me, though. They're the ones that just tear me up. And
I can live.
Unless I'm walking through the swamp for Toby. If I'm walking through the swamp for Toby, I don't know what tore me up, but I had bumps all over me.
I can live with mosquitoes. I mean, I don't like them by any means. They aggravate the crap out of me. But the things that aggravate me the most are flies. I can't stand flies, just regular like house flies. Can't stand them. And gnats. Gnats are the most brutal. Yeah, gnats are the most brutal things in the world down here.
This is close to a gnat, but it's not a fruit fly.
Yeah,
Those are the world's worst because they want to fly up your nose.
Yeah. So do gnats.
Every chance they get, they want to fly up your nose. So
gnats want to fly everywhere they ain't supposed to be, in your ears, in your eyes, in your nose. If you call CQ, you just might as well just resign yourself to the fact you're going to get 2 of them in your mouth at least. Just protein, right? So.
And I get choked enough. I get choked enough when I'm calling CQ. See, I can't hardly talk without getting choked. So
yeah.
I often wonder what people think, because I'll be running a pile up and I'm coughing my head off. They're probably like, "What is wrong with him? He's dying."
Yeah.
Got that never-ending cough. But yeah, if life's overwhelming you, find something to do to relax yourself. It don't gotta be POTA. I'm just telling you, the POTA will do it for you guys, because you're obviously here watching the stream. You want to hear about POTA, but just find something relaxing. Even, a lot of you hunters, the way the bans are right now, I don't know a single hunter that I've been around that's not complaining. I mean, they complain about the bans.
Yeah.
Do something new. Go out and activate, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to get people. Just because you can't hunt people doesn't mean you can't get people, because there are hunters out there that will make sure you get activated. I still to this day don't know how people don't get activated at a park. It's beyond me. There's too many people with stations that'll go through anything. So,
Whiskey Charlie says he hasn't complained a single time about activating or hunting.
but that's because if you can't get somebody hunting, you just say, "I'm done with this." Now you go activate, and you know you're going to get somebody.
That's right. Yeah, see, Liz doesn't spend any time at all in the park. She just brings the family. They pull into the park, grab the HTs, and then they pull out of the park. I mean, they don't even have to get out of the air conditioner. Love it.
And speaking to Liz, want to tell Caleb, hopefully he's feeling better. He had surgery today, so hopefully he's doing better. And he got to ride in a chariot from the hospital. So
yeah, he did. The captain's chair. That's true. But yeah, find something that relaxes you. I mean, even if it's not radio, just chill. If your idea after a long, hard day of the W word is to come home and just plop your butt down on the couch with a cold beer and watch a movie, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Get relaxed.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, have more fun doing POTA.
Yeah, you probably will. Yeah.
Another thing with the busyness of everything. What about when you're in the park and it's all busy?
Yeah.
That can be a different problem. Okay, James told me to go POTA to relax, and I go to the POTA park, and I'm sitting here and I've got 2 contacts, and 3 carloads pull in, and they pile in the pavilion with you, and they start making all kinds of noise. What do I do?
Luckily,
ain't much you can do, because people these days, they don't have no respect for it. When I was growing up, if you wanted a pavilion, first you had to find one that wasn't reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, you had to be at the park at 7:00 that morning and have somebody sit there. Even if your cookout wasn't until 3:00 that evening, you had to have somebody there at 7 and sit there all day long until people started arriving. But everybody knew once there was somebody sitting there, oh, that one's in use.
Right.
But it ain't like that no more. I can't tell you the times that I'll be out activating in something, and somebody will come and sit up and have a birthday party there. And it's annoying, because not only do you got to deal with the noise, but you have to worry about their kids running over and knocking over your antenna or everything like that. I mean,
Yeah, you ought to just walk up there before. You know, if somebody's at your pavilion, you should drive by and say, "Is this pavilion in use?"
you know, here's the thing. Every now and then, you'll find somebody that's wanting to use the pavilion that's like a good net control operator.
Yeah.
And good net control operators are very few and far in between, because most of them want to just come and say, "We're doing a net here and get off our frequency." But some of them will throw out their call sign and ask you if you care to move or if they should move or something like that. I've had that happen before. I had one guy come and say, "Are you almost done? Because we're wanting to do a birthday party here." I said, "Yeah, I'm almost done." And you know, that's called respect right there. And
That's respect. But you also have the pavilion lids that'll come by and go, "Listen, we've been having a birthday party here every year for the last 17 years.
I was
So
down.
we're going to sit right here and have our birthday party. We don't care if the pavilion is in use."
I was down at Kings Mountain, down close to where Golf Alpha Romeo lives, and I was sitting there activating, and these two car loads pull up, and they walk out there and they start setting up their birthday party, and their kids kept running around near my infed, and I kept telling them, "Y'all be careful. There's a wire there. There's a wire there." You know, and any kind of parent is going to say, "Kids, stay away from that wire over there."
Right.
But no, these are absolute hoodlums, and their parents didn't care. That's why they're absolute hoodlums. And before I knew it, one of them ran straight through my infed.
Oh.
And his mom had the nerve to say, "Are you okay, honey?" I was like, "He's not going to be in a minute."
Oh, Chris, a pavilion story. We had a pavilion that they apparently had a cake fight. It was nasty in the ants. Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is great, man. A food fight at a pavilion. That'd be great.
I like how Robbie calls it. You know, we were activating down in Florida near a playground, and he was trying to hear this guy. And Robbie told the guy, said, "Sorry, I got QR playground in the background."
Yeah, that was great.
Oh,
Yeah, some of them. I'm not going to say some. I'll go out on a limb and say most people that will co-occupy your pavilion are pretty daggum cool. They'll say, "Hey, man, you want a burger or something?"
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for example, when we went out and did the Kentucky POTA meetup, me and Terry got out there, and we got there fairly early, and there was one or two guys already there, but when they got there was a birthday party set up, and they asked them, said, "Do you mind if we work on the other end and do this?" And those people were really cool. When their food got done, they said, "Hey, we got plenty of food. Y'all come over and get some food." They were giving out hot dogs, hamburgers, and everything for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, some people are really cool like that, and they wasn't loud. Well, I will give you a trick, though. We'll give you a trick. If they're being really, really loud, pull out your CW key, turn your speaker as loud as it can go, and start doing CW.
That'll work.
Tips from the king.
So what you're saying is just do a normal Whiskey One Radio Charlie Pop activation. Yeah. Okay. we always pick on Robbie because his volume is cranked on CW. It's like you can hear him anywhere in the park.
It is. It'll run somebody off really quick.
Yeah.
But you also got to watch too, because sometimes the park rangers will come and tell you to turn it down.
I was just about to say that, Terry. What about FT8 with the volume all the way up?
Well, if you know anything about my CW pileups, they're worse than FT8.
About the same, right? Yeah.
So they're worse than FT8 for sure. I'll tell you one on a ranger down in Florida. He came and told me that I was going to have to turn my radio down, that I was in a public area and other people was using that public area. And I told him, okay, no problem. I said, and he went over there and was talking to these people. And I was like, oh, okay, that's who complained. Well, when he walked back by, I said, hey, will you do me a favor? Those people's kids over there keep screaming. Can you tell them we're in a public area and they need to calm it down? He said, I never thought of it that way. I said, yeah.
That is hilarious.
But
you
I
gotta
mean,
think too, man. Some people will just find anything to complain about, even if it's not really bothering them.
right. It's a public area. So me talking on the radio, I'm disturbing you, but your kids are over there screaming at the top of their lungs, and that's fine.
They just kids.
Mm-hmm.
The Utes. They're just Utes. That's right. Oh, RF and around has a complaint. He said nobody hunted him on 40 meters. So now he is on 20 meter FT8.
Well, if you're doing FT8, no wonder nobody's hunting on you. Nobody does that stuff. That stuff's dead.
He was on 40 meter voice.
Terry
He's on 40
meters.
Yeah. I would have hunted you on 40, but well, I don't know, man. I barely heard you on 20. I don't know how good the bands are right now.
I probably could hear him on 40, but I'm in the middle of a stream. So
yeah.
If you go on 40 after the stream, I'll grab you.
Wait a minute. You just said, wait a minute. All right. So he said Terry and Toby did, but your previous comment was none of you hunted me on 40 meters. You're just like one of them IT folks that say nothing's working. But in reality, something is working. I hate it when people, I know it's totally off topic, but I hate when people call into work and go, nothing is working. Nothing. Interesting. You know? Luckily, we activate most of the time in WMAs. So getting away from people is really not an issue, especially if they have the gates open so you can go back deeper into the park. I've always said that I can be on 40 meters at Grand Bay WMA, and you can be at the entrance to Grand Bay WMA. And I bet you couldn't, if they have the back gate open and I can go wherever in that WMA I want, I'll give you a half an hour and you will not find where I'm set up because I go way back deep in there.
So is that because it's the close park to you, or do you prefer WMAs?
Both. I do prefer a WMA over a state park because I find not only is the people interference less, but also any other type of RFI is less in a WMA than a state park. Noise floor is drastically lower.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, that's why I like WMAs.
Mostly tailgate activations or
Tailgate or just fold out chairs next to the tailgate. Yeah.
See, I prefer state parks. It is a pain in the tail to find the spot that's good, but I prefer them because they're more accessible. There's more clear spots that you can go. You're not limited to 1-2 clearings, and you just gotta know where to go. I mean, I've activated a lot of places in Chief Logan. I'm always looking. I mean, I've got my favorites. Most of the Rangers could tell you where my favorite spots are. But, I still like to go to the other places. I really like to go up the Right Fork, but the Right Fork, you don't have phone service. So when I go up there, I have to use like either a satellite spotter or my Starlink. So
Now I've never been to Chief Logan, but is that more of? Can you find spots in Chief Logan, which is a state park?
Mhm.
But can you find spots in the state park that are more wildlife management area looking?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. See, most of the state parks down here, like Reed Bingham and Georgia Veterans, etc., there's not very many places that you can go that doesn't look like state park. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, the WMAs are more, out of the way, obviously, but I like them.
I
But
mean,
they're more peaceful.
I've activated Chief Logan on a trail
Yeah.
at the top in the top of the mountains before.
Mhm.
They're like in the middle of nowhere. So I mean, yeah, you could get away from everything. There's actually a summit. The summit itself is right outside of Chief Logan, but there is a spot or two that's in the activation area that you could do it as a park as well. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty of places that you could go and get away from stuff like that and get away from everything. But
Another good
I
thing
mean,
about WMAs, though, so another good thing about WMAs is if you can get way back in the woods by yourself and chill and have a good time, there's bathroom all around you. You don't have to find one.
well, I'm from West Virginia. There's bathrooms everywhere.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, in West Virginia, we'll step out on the courthouse steps and take a leak.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Now,
normal. Don't worry about
now
him.
this is the honest to God's truth. Unless it's been changed in the last 2 years, it's not like I keep up with it. But unless it's been changed in the last 2 years, on Sunday at I think it's 12 noon or it might be 1 p.m., you can bring your old lady to the courthouse and beat the immortal crap out of her on the steps of the courthouse. And ain't a law enforcement that can touch you
As
because
long
it's
as
in the
it's a
law.
certain time of day.
It's in the law. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So Eddie brings up another good point about WMAs. I would say you have to be careful more in a WMA for ticks, like Eddie said, snakes, spiders, stuff like
snakes.
that, than you would have to in a state park. So that's a downside to a WMA. Yeah.
Well, that and you're typically limited to what kind of antenna you're going to use, unless now the boys from Canada. That one thing I can tell you, they don't care. They don't care how thick it is. They'll put a wire. It's not going to be a flat wire. It's not going to be a sloper, but they'll put a wire, and they'll throw it over 400 trees and not off them where, that them boys like to put up their wires and they're good at it. James and Tom and Brian, they're really awesome on the way they do it. So I haven't seen anybody in the States that throw wires up like they do. So, but in most places in WMAs, people's always looking, well, what am I going to have to use here? I mean, it doesn't matter. I've got lots of antennas with me, but for example, in Chief Logan, I know you do it in the States too. I've been with you in the States when you do it. I was just saying, I don't see people in the States do it like that. But like in the state parks, you can throw up multiple antennas if you want.
I would say for around here anyway, I'd say you have more antenna options in a WMA because you have trees. You can do tripod if you don't want to. You could spike if you really felt like it. You could run drive on. You could do a trailer hitch, but some places, some state park benches and pavilions, they're just not near trees.
Well, who says anything about a bench in a pavilion?
No, you can go walk to the tree line and sit down. I guess.
mean, in my car, I have a fold out table and fold out chairs. I can do that anywhere. So,
James said he has an infant half wave in a tree behind the camper right now. Fundy National Park. Is it a national park? Is that what they? I think it's Fundy National Park. Yeah, I bring my own chairs. The only thing I don't have is my own table, but I just use the tailgate of my truck. Works just as good, you know.
Yeah. So
the only thing I really need, I mean, I got the camping chairs. The only thing I really want to get is like a little. I might have one in the back of the truck, a little pop-up umbrella or something, just to keep the sun.
So what say you, chat? Are you guys WMAs or you state park people? Let's see what the chat says.
Yeah, which one do you prefer to activate in if you had the choice?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do them. If you ask Jamie, I only do WMAs.
That's all you do is Panther and Tomlin.
Panther and Tomlin's all I ever do.
All right, so Eddie's a WMA person. Dennis is a state park, both for Mo.
Terry says Walmart.
RFing around doesn't care as long as he gets activated. Brian prefers state parks, but he likes WA due to the lower noise. Yeah, that's where I am. Ronnie's WMA. Chris is the fishing lakes in Georgia. I consider those WMA kind of lands. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
State parks for Josh. James urban
parks.
Yeah.
Not. I'm out on.
Yeah.
Those are just like when I pull into a state and I'm like, oh, here's a new one. I'm like, oh no, that's no.
Jerry says he likes the trails that the snails go on. Chris Coble says the new ones. He doesn't care which one they are. That's a good one, buddy.
We're talking for activating, not hunting them. Yeah, I'm a big pass on the urban parks. I mean, I have to do them sometimes. You know, I did that one down in Nashville, and boy, yeah, you know, it was in the shady part of Asheville too, and it's funny because somebody was talking later on, said, yeah, there's this park down in Nashville. It's really shady. I was there at like 7:30 in the morning and got approached.
Nice. Another vote for a WMA from Liz.
I guess I'm the weirdo.
Yeah, no, I think it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, to be honest. I mean, it's, whatever you like. There's pros and cons to both, you know?
Yeah, I'm not big on the historic sites either.
Yeah.
And my problem with the historic sites is there's no real clear rule in POTA about historic sites. You got to be on the boundaries of the historic site. So what is the boundaries of a building?
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand that. Like the one in DC where people say you got to be on the steps to activate it because
yeah. So historic sites are complicated, and even if it's a wide open historic site, let's say like a national battlefield or something. I mean, I wouldn't mind activating it just to get it off the list of a park that I need to activate, but I wouldn't make it a frequent stop.
Yeah, that's me on historic sites and stuff like that. They're normally a one and done type thing.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I would feel kind of weird, for the lack of a better word, activating a national historic battlefield or something. It would not give me the heebie-jeebies, but I don't want to go out there and disrespect what happened on that land. So why is it a national battlefield? I don't want to go out there and take away from that. And the people who gave their lives for that piece of property to now be considered a national battlefield. I don't want to go. I don't want to go sit up in some antenna and throw wires and stuff all over where.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
On a battlefield or something like that, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to run a hitch mount and do it from the vehicle anyway. But I mean, like some of the historic sites and stuff, you can't. It's street parking. You can't be in your vehicle. Like
Right.
the one that Tabor City, it took me like 4 years of trips to Florida to finally get that thing. And then when I finally get it, the noise level is just ungodly stupid. And there's roosters running around everywhere. And there's signs that tells you not to feed the pet roosters.
Yeah. See, Reed, that would be a really weird one for me to activate, the Flight 93 historic site. I would try to get as far away from that, but still be in the boundaries of the park. I mean, I would be tucked over so far in the corner that if I moved an inch, it wouldn't be a valid activation. That's just me, though.
I just wish they were more clear on the rule on them. For example, like, okay, here's a monument. It's a monument that's already in a park, so it's a twofer. Where do I got to set up? Well, you set up at the monument. Where at the monument?
You got to sit on top of it.
You know?
Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah.
Like I think it'd be nice if they just lay out the rule where it's, you know, kind of like trails. It ain't got to be 100-foot like trails are. Yeah. But, you know, at least there's a rule about a trail. You know, you got to be 100 foot from the trail. So, now, there's a nice historic site that didn't bother me at all. You know, up in Canada, I don't know the name of it. James will probably tell you since here. It was that church that we did at night, and that one night, me, you, Brian, and Tom, we also did it. On the Rove as well, but it was a nice one. So, but there's a lot of people from West Virginia in here, so I do want to throw this out there. If you are going to the state convention, be there early, because I'm doing a West Virginia POTA forum. It's more of a beginner forum, but I'd like to see some POTA people in there as well. I'm doing it. I think it's 9:30 to 10:30 or 9 to 10. It's one of the two, but I think it's 9:30 to 10:30. So
in the morning?
In the morning, yeah. And I gotta drive up there too.
Man, you gonna be all right?
Yeah. The problem is driving up there. I've got to get up really early.
Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you for UEI.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. There you go. James threw it out. Charlie Alpha 5505. That was a really nice historic site. You know, there's a lot of nice historic sites, but you don't know where you got to be to actually activate them.
For things like that, I mean, I can't give you, even though my involvement with POTA, I'm not going to give you an official answer. So if you're looking for an official answer, email the help desk. Charlie and them will get you straightened out. But I personally, now don't take this as an answer. Again, it's not an answer, but I personally would do what's reasonable. If it's a stone monument that is 6 feet across in the middle of another entity, obviously there's going to be other people that want to look at that monument, so you don't want to be sitting on it while you do your activation. Be reasonable, be a good steward, be a good person. I would say, you know, depending on how busy it is, anywhere within 30, 40, 50 feet of it, you're all right. You know, now don't activate it if it's a quarter mile away from you. That's kind of ridiculous. You know, be reasonable.
Unless you're doing FD8, right?
Right. But, you know, be reasonable.
Yeah, I won't give you an official answer either because I don't know the answer.
Especially, you know, these ones that are walk up and they might be like, you know, 2 feet square. You're not going to stand there hugging the monument while you do it. It's ridiculous. Be reasonable.
Let me hold my Eagle One up with this hand and talk to the microphone on this hand. Radio's got to go under the arm here.
Yeah, just be reasonable with your activation. Yeah, that's all we ask. Nobody's going to give you crap like a trail. Nobody's going to give you crap if you're 150 feet. away from the trail. Now, if you're 3/4 of a mile away from it, you're going to get some flack. You know,
James said he'll bring up the historic thing with the next group when they meet.
That's right. Pete Knapp said they asked him to do a POTA talk, but he couldn't make it. So you referred them to the king. That's right.
Yeah, it's going to be a different crowd than I'm used to. I'm used to, well, for example, like in Huntsville, I'm doing an advanced POTA forum, more for advanced, because I don't really like doing the beginner POTA stuff, but it's going to be more of letting people in West Virginia know what POTA is and what it's about is what they were kind of wanting. So it's going to be one of those. But if there's already some POTA people there that want to ask some questions, that's great too. Might spike some more interest.
You're doing a bit in Huntsville too, right?
Yes, I am doing a forum in Huntsville too.
I need your list of questions that you want me to stand up in the back and jump up and down and ask.
It is not how far do I gotta be from a historic site to activate it?
I'm gonna ask you that. That'll be a good one. Yeah, I'll be a paid actor. There you
go. What about TUNY? What about it, Kent? I can probably answer you most questions you want about that one, except how to really pronounce that word.
I got your picture, James. All right. So James sent me a picture of what he considers to be, that close to a historic site. I would say that's still a little close. I mean, if it's busy that day, it's going to be hard to activate right there too. I would say anywhere within 20, 30 feet of that would be kosher. To me, that's my opinion. I mean, like I said earlier, big disclaimer. That's not officially from POTA. I'm talking as me right now. But yeah,
is it easy to activate? Is that what you're asking, Kent? Is it easy to activate? If that's your question, yes, it's very easy to activate.
Every time you activate 2 Indy Way, it sounds like an address to me. Yeah, I live on 2 Indy Way.
I call it the Mothman Park.
Yeah.
Yes, it's super easy to activate. Now, if you want to do it as a twofer, you have to walk a little bit further, and get out by the really far end picnic table. So it's a little further, but yeah, it's really easy. You can pull right on the street beside the park, and literally take your gear out of your car, across the sidewalk, and you have to lift it up because there's a little wall there, and you're in the park.
Yeah,
plenty of trees. It's actually a really nice park. So, but yes, it's easy to activate. I did that one quite a bit until I got my eagle, and then I'm kind of done with it now. I start to get bored after I get the eagle at them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, most of the rules in POTA are basically kind of not ambiguous, but not defined on purpose. Okay, because it's use common sense. Yeah, I mean, really, don't activate Kilo 4 Lima India with 40 pizzas.
Thank you very much, Josh. You are absolutely awesome.
That's enough pizza to bring to the after party.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But no, just use your common sense if you're activating, trail or a historic site. Don't get in other people's way, and just use common sense. Really.
The thing about the trails, and this is the thing about the trails, and this goes back to, and again, Jason Johnson is not in charge of POTA now, but I had asked him one time about trails, and he told me, because I was like, ain't that a little far, to be for the trail? He said, you got to remember, like these water trails that they pulled up on the banks and camped and everything else. He said that becomes part of that. He said, so he said, be in reason. He said, you got to be in reason. But yeah, like you said, if you're 150 foot off, ain't nobody going to say nothing to you about it.
No. No.
For example, the Lewis and Clark, I found out when I went to the Lewis and Clark Museum, that thing is crazy. It's not just all water. It's, there's more road and land of Lewis and Clark than there is water.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're 125, 130 feet away from the trail, who cares? But if you're a quarter mile away from it, come on, man. Surely you can get a little closer. It's just all about having fun. The people that want to skirt rules and abuse the system, I guess.
Now, Dan, we talked about this. You have to have fun the way everybody else wants you to have fun.
If you're not having fun the way I want you to have fun, you're doing it wrong.
That's right. Because if you're when we're in Huntsville, if we're not having fun the way everybody else wants us to, somebody's going to quarrel.
Exactly. Yeah, Eddie, I think me and you should go around to these trails, Eddie, with like a golf laser rangefinder and sneak up on activators with a laser rangefinder and go, you're 25 feet out of the range, buddy.
So it's funny that you mentioned it because, for example, when I did Shock Tower and New River State Trail, there's a feature on Google where you can take and do measurements. And I found exactly where I needed to activate that. I stayed in that 100-foot range.
I'll give you a hint, guys. It's not at the shot tower.
No, it's not at the shot tower.
You got to walk down the steps. You got to go down. I've done it in the right spot. It's not at the shot tower. You can't do it from the parking lot. You can do the shot tower from the parking lot, but not the two.
Nope.
Man, this hour flew by, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Look at that. People's already saying, hey, you guys need to end this.
I know, right?
All right, Dan, what you got coming up?
The after chat, which I'm going to drop links to now for the Patreon and our Discord, where we like to hang out after our Wednesday show. James will tell you about that in just a second. We will see you again on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern for shenanigans. James, take it.
Roger. For me, after I leave here, I'm going to go over to that after chat. After chat is a Patreon benefit, but lucky you can go over to Patreon right now by clicking that link Dan dropped and sign up for a free 7-day trial. But then you must message myself or Dan in that Discord link that he dropped and let us know that you signed up so we can get you into the room and get you set up, because that's a lot of people's biggest mistakes. We're always looking for new Patreons, and I'll tell you why. Because once you become a Patreon, you get in this unique group of people that will do absolutely anything for people. And we try to spend so much time together. It's crazy. It's a big family is what it is. So it's got a lot of good benefits. So check it out. Other than that, tomorrow, 4 p.m., got a video drop. It is my QRP activation from today. Terry, you can see how horrible your signal was on that video. And there's also some really cool stuff. There's some people in here right now that definitely need to watch that video. So make sure and check it out and smash the like button on this stream and that video. Other than that, I'll be doing POTA every day like always. Thanks everybody for the super chat. And we will see you over there in the after chat 73.
See you guys.